after a month of craziness, we're back.
That was so much louder than I expected, and I don't like it.
So, wait, is this the show? Is this us
I don't
starting
know.
the show?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, this is after the theme song.
this makes sense.
This is how we usually do it.
Yeah, you know.
If you're listening to the audio version, you're missing out.
You're really confused at what that noise was.
Yeah.
You know what really sucks?
I mean,
I moved it to the side preemptively, and it still fucked me.
it's
You stay right here on top of this dry boy. There you go. It's soaking in.
audio listeners are super confused as to what's happening.
There we go. Well, now what? Is that the show? Just cut it there. Thanks for listening, guys.
Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, YouTube. We'll be back next month. No. Why don't we become a monthly show?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a while. The last time we had a show, I was about to go on vacation and whatnot, and then we both had birthdays, so we're both older.
Yes.
And yeah, that's a thing.
It is.
What else has happened, Ant?
I don't know where to start. What episode is this? This is episode 7. I just 78.
77, I believe. I could be wrong.
This is episode. I just checked it before we started.
And we already don't remember it.
Already, my
On
brain
brand.
is gone. Yeah.
Welcome back to the show, where we don't remember how to do the show.
This is episode.
This is 78. You were right.
78.
I'm stupid.
All right. Well, we can start by saying level up,
Literally.
gamers. I don't even know if I was the last one. I don't remember anything
Yeah.
from this show anymore. Welcome back to Save Before Quitting podcast. I'm Ant.
And I'm Chris, and we're surrounded by confetti that you really can't see,
No.
which is really funny because
So-
like what we're looking at looks like a bowl of Fruity Pebbles, and what the camera sees is like maybe like 2 or 3 behind. Like here's a yellow,
There you go.
but like
If
multiply
you missed
this.
it, there you go.
My water.
Oh shit! Did we go in there again?
No, it did not.
Okay, good.
But yeah, it's been a while. We're back. We're getting ready to rev on forward, make content again. For you Patreon peeps, sorry. It's been a time.
Yeah.
We
really feel bad about the Patreon thing.
Yeah.
In the last month when we couldn't get this done.
But we'll figure something out soon.
Yeah.
To say thank you to all the people that are over there. And if you're not a Patreon member, you could go over to patreon.com/savebeforequitting.
You could.
Letter B number 4. But yeah, man. So yeah, how you doing?
I am better than I was in April. For those who don't know, I was in the hospital for 12 days in April.
Ridiculousness.
Right after, we'll get to that. Right after the Sonic movie came out, that following week, I pretty much went to work, felt weird. Halfway through work, had like a weird pain in my left knee, so I was pretty much like limping. And I'm thinking like, all right, I'm coming down with some kind of flu. I have some kind of severe body ache, whatever.
Yeah.
This is the short version. We'll give into details on Patreon.
Yeah.
But I had some kind of wild limp, and then turns out next day I go to get up out of bed. And I didn't take off from work that day because I'm like, I don't want to call out. I don't feel like getting reprimanded for it. A lot of this is a lesson in do what you have to do for you. If you feel shitty, take care of yourself. I'm not going to say all, but a lot of these jobs aren't worried about your health.
Most aren't.
Yeah.
They're kind of just like, why aren't you in most of the time?
Because I went in on some, no, let me go to work.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to get reprimanded. I also don't want to fuck over anybody for not being at work last minute.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have gone to work. But anyway, fast forward, next morning I get up and the pain is so bad, I go to get up out of bed to go to the bathroom, and I pretty much nearly collapse on the floor in pain. So, obviously, I didn't go to work that day. Went to urgent care, got some pain meds. They took some blood. The next day, pain in my knee is gone, but it's migrated to like my hip. And the pain is now times 50. So I get out of bed. I try to get out of bed again, and I pretty much whimper because the pain is so bad. Fall against the wall, and I have to pee. So I'm like, I can't move.
Yeah.
And I have to pee. So I had to my wife pretty much helped me get up and get to the bathroom. But it was really bad. Ended up going to the ER. Fast forward. Found out it was some kind of bacterial infection that they could not figure out how I got. Mm-hmm. That migrated to my hip. And they pretty much had to go in and get like these abscess out of my hip. I pretty much had every kind of medical test. I took like a COVID test, a fucking flu test. I had a whole bunch of CAT scans, MRIs. It was to the point where I was like, they gave me every test but a pregnancy test. And I wouldn't even be surprised if they gave me that.
Shit, that would have been funny.
So,
just fuck it. We'll do it. They're like $3. Right? I feel like I'm not an adult because I don't know how much a pregnancy test costs. Is it about $3? Okay,
they're not like expensive.
It's a good estimate.
They have expensive ones, but honestly, it's like
you just need to know yes or no.
Yeah, they have all these crazy. It's like
is it Bluetooth? Like alerts you when it's done?
I think there is one that can like somehow connect to your phone. It's Science. Like why? I just need an answer. I just need yes or no.
I just want to play Flappy Bird on my piss test, yo.
Yeah. I need a yes or no question. I just need to know if I'm fucked or not. Like that's it. Anyway, kids are a blessing. I gotta say that because I have one on the way. Anyway, so they it came down to the point where they found out it was an abscess in my hip. I was on IVs like every day, pain pills every day. I could barely sleep. Like, this is not an actual problem, but I couldn't like shave my head, which I didn't like because now I had all this hair growing in on the side and none on top.
The funny part was that was the first thing you complained about when I went to see you in the hospital. I didn't bring it up. Like I didn't even bring it up, but like that was the first thing. Like it wasn't even like I was like, "How you doing?" You're like, man, just getting. I just wish I could shave," and I'm like,
because like as someone who shaved every other day for 6 to 7 years now, you don't feel like yourself.
I feel that, yeah. I mean, you could have
asked for excruciating pain.
All this shit's happening, right.
But, yeah. So, I had to spend my birthday in there, which I didn't like. But people came to visit, like my good friend here. And it was great. Friend.
We watched Ridiculous for about an hour.
Let me tell you, MTV, I have a problem with you. First of all, hospitals, I don't understand in 2022 why you don't like just have like
Netflix,
like a Roku device just in the TVs. Like, why is that? They have TVs that come with them.
Yeah.
At this point, because TV in the hospital is horrible. Terrible. The sound comes out of the little remote you hold to call the nurse. I'm like, what? Yeah. Anyway. First world problems. It didn't feel like
I couldn't shave, and Rob Dyrdek just kept telling me everything was ridiculous.
Yo, okay. I told Chris this in the hospital. I turned on MTV like maybe the 4th day I'm in there, and the show Ridiculousness is on. If you don't know what Ridiculousness is, it's pretty much funniest home videos of the modern era. So it was on, and then it goes off, and then it comes on again, and then it goes off, and then it comes on again. I'm trapped in a hospital bed. I'm like, yo, obviously I have a phone. I have my Switch. Like, I can watch other shit. Mm-hmm. But I was like, you're kind of like in a position where like, you want to move as little as possible. So I didn't feel like trying to grab my phone and lay and hold it. And yeah. So anyway, back to what I was saying. Ridiculousness just kept coming on. Over and over and over again. And if I hear that fucking theme song, like, yeah. Man, by like I think the end of that day, I was like, I have to go kill Rob Dyrdek. I have to go find him and murder him. But
is that the podcast title? We have to kill Rob Dyrdek?
No, the podcast title is Ridiculousness.
We're back, ridiculousness.
Yes. But it kept coming on. So I fall asleep. I wake up. It's on. I turn the TV off. And then I'm just like listening to like some podcasts on my phone or people are coming to visit. And then I turn the TV on later when like I'm eating dinner and it's on. The next day, it's on. I'm like, MTV has shown Ridiculousness for 72 hours straight. I'm like, they don't have any other programming.
They don't.
It's just this show.
They used to have like so much
they
back
did.
when I was in high school. It was like Teen Mom. They had Jersey Shore. They had what was the one that was like the country version of Jersey Shore?
I know what you're talking about. I don't remember what
it was called. It was like, hey, you like Jersey Shore? What if they were paler? That's literally the show. And they fuck the same, but guess what?
Right.
One of them might be related to each other. Like was it called like Florabama or some shit like that?
Oh yeah,
because it was Florida and Alabama, which is just
they need new producers up there, but
they need to put music videos back on.
Yeah, like y'all are MTV.
Pay for the rights. It's not that hard, but
like it came down to the point where I was like, I can't watch this anymore. So I turned that off. Some movies came on. I was watching like censored movies on like TBS. It was a struggle.
Flapjack you.
It's like
fuck you. But...
yes, all that stupid shit.
And the mouth says fuck, but it's like flapjack.
I was watching something and it was the dude clearly said, "Man, I'm tired of this bullshit." And he's like, "Man, I'm tired of this nonsense." I was like, "What?" Just say bullshit. It was really bad. But then as I'm flicking around, I think another couple of days, I was in the hospital for 12 days. Jeez. So maybe on the 8th day, I'm just skipping around and I end up back on MTV. What's on?
And on the 8th day, Rob Dyrdek came from his cave.
At this point,
and said, yeah.
I'm already just hopped up on all types of pain pills. They've been taking me from medical bed to medical bed. Every time they transfer me, it's just pain. Every time. And they're taking me to physical therapy. Then as soon as I come back, they're like, pills. Then I'm all hooked up to IVs. I still have an IV in my arm. Hooked up to IVs. And you go through all of that shit. You get back and lay in the bed and it's just like, turn the TV on. Welcome to Ridiculousness. I'm like, I'm going to jump out of a window because it can't be worse than all of this.
Yeah.
So, 8th day, it's on. And then it was just, again, next day I turned on the TV because that's the channel it's left on.
Yeah.
And it's that show. And I'm like, I have to get out of here. Luckily,
I need to escape.
Luckily, by that time, it's like the 11th day. And that's when you came by. And we turned on the TV. And what was on, Chris?
Baby, it was still on.
The next day I escaped. Well, I think 2 days later I escaped. And I was home.
Yeah.
And we're caught up to now where the pain is much less. I got still on some crutches. I still got to get antibiotics every day. But I'm better and I'm here.
Hell yeah.
And my head is shaved.
Came down the stairs by yourself.
I did. I felt like a big boy.
Hell yeah, man. Making strides.
Very much so.
It's a metaphor on 2 levels. Because it's like you're taking steps forward, but you're also taking steps forward.
I see what you did there.
Look at that. It's even better when you explain your metaphors.
You need to ghostwrite some raps.
The crazy part about that whole situation, and this is not to like lessen any of that, is that this whole time that this is happening, I'm in Florida. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like waiting in lines. Like that's like my existence for a full week is just waiting in lines.
That's all Florida is lines and racism.
Yeah. I don't know.
What?
What do you mean racism in Disney?
Not in Disney, like the Florida.
Oh, I was like, what the fuck?
I mean,
Disney's done some definite racist shit, but I was like, what is happening in the parks? I can't say yay or nay
that it is or isn't in the parks, but I'm Florida the place.
Yes, okay, cool. I got you now. I was like, wait, what is the mouse doing that I'm not aware of?
The lines part was Disney.
Gotcha. Cool. Here we are. But I'm like messaging you, and you're just like, man, just have a good time. And I'm like, that's not how this works. I'm doing that, obviously, but I'm standing in line here for Mickey's Runaway Railway for the third hour. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna check the fuck in, my dude.
Yeah,
you know,
it was because I think it was to the point where I was just like, yo, man, I'm as good as I can be right now. Yeah. But at the same time,
you're also texting the same thing to 80 people.
That too.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, you've been talking about your Disney trip. I want you to enjoy the moment in your Disney trip. Trust me, if something wasn't okay, I'd have been like, yo, I know you're enjoying your trip.
Yeah.
But
it's time to
one of my
home.
legs fell off.
Dude, the crazy part is, like, I have some fucked stories about that trip, too. Like, because it didn't go swimmingly. If you listened to our last Patreon episode, you heard what I was talking about, you know, Disney trips and just trips in general with my family and how they don't really go correctly. Mm-hmm. And that happened. It very much did. And I'll wait till Patreon to tell that, because it is a
doozy.
It is a mess of a story, to say the least. But yeah, man, it's been a time. I'm back now. You're back now. We're doing the thing.
We're doing the thing. We're playing the feud. No, turn on Family Feud. Like, no.
Ridiculous. No now showing up at Made in Georgia. Oh, man. But
that's the gist of it. That's the quick story of it all.
Yeah. And if you want to hear more details, I assume we'll talk like more about it on the Patreon podcast once we get that back up and running.
Yeah, there's some funny stories. Even though the hospital sucks, there was still some like shit going down in there. Like, oh man, I got to talk about this on the show.
In theory, we'll probably maybe have one next week.
I think we will.
We could honestly record another episode of the regular podcast this Wednesday and just do like whatever comes out in these next 2 days, because that's how video game news works in our luck. And then just be like, okay, Sunday when we get together again, just Patreon, and then we'll be just shooting shit.
True that. I think things are going to happen before this comes out, because I think PlayStation has to report their earnings.
Yeah.
And I think they're planning on like announcing things leading up to that.
We'll see what happens. I'm hoping for God of War Ragnarok.
I think it's going to be acquisitions. More so.
I'm tired of acquisitions. It's not entertaining anymore.
It's the year of acquisitions.
It's not entertaining anymore. It's boring. It's not.
But I think that's what's going on.
With all that being said, there's always something that we start this podcast with after we get through the intro, which that technically was. We're not going to play the theme song again because, you know, we already did that, and then the bang happened. But what have you been playing? And / like media, like what have you been watching besides Ridiculousness, like movies and stuff?
I've never watched
and like shows. Have you been picking up any new stuff, and then games in general?
Kirby and the Forgotten Lands.
Oh, you have played it. I didn't know if you did.
This scholar and the gentleman right here got me Kirby.
I forgot your one birthday present still. That one that I bought. Like
I'm still backed up, so it's fine.
The funny part is that I bought that before everything that I gave you already.
I appreciate it.
And it's not that great, but I keep forgetting it, so now like the stakes just keep getting higher.
Listen, man, once I can drive a car... I have a story about that, too.
Jesus.
Well, first of all, you asked me a question. I've been playing Kirby.
Nice.
Whenever I got a second, I've been here pretty much every day, so like... being in the hospital, not to get super sentimental, makes you like really appreciate everything you can't do when you're in the hospital. So I get home and I'm like, obviously I could just be like playing games, I have all this time, but honestly I just been chilling with Adrian, like, because she works from home, so I'm just like in the kitchen with her while she's working. Nice. I'm on the laptop, she's on the laptop, just like I'm like applying for jobs, and she's doing her job, and then like she'll make lunch and she'll help me like do my antibiotics thing, my IV and everything, and we just been kind of just like chilling. On nice days, go like sit outside, but I'm like a nerd, so she's like, you want to go outside? I'm like, no, because it's outside and nerds don't like to go outside.
I'll touch the grass for a second and then I'm gonna go back inside where it's safe.
But it was one of those things where like early on where like it was still a lot of pain, so I'm just like, I'm a slave to whatever you want to do because I can't do anything for myself.
Wherever you drag me, I must go because I can't go against your will.
Right. But So I couldn't even get down here to play a whole bunch of games if I wanted to, because I couldn't go up and down the steps a lot. Mm-hmm. And I can't like drive. So when I did have like moments, I had my Switch with me, I would just play Kirby.
Nice.
And I've been enjoying it. Kirby, it's a lot of fun. It's a Kirby game, so it's not hard by any means. But it's enjoyable. It's one of those games where, like, if you want to be a completionist, you can look in every nook and cranny and get every secret and every unlockable and like get every stat up to like 100% it. And obviously that's how I'm playing it. Mm-hmm. But if you want to just like breeze through it, it's like that too. It's like
good for all ages.
It's pretty much.
That's what E for everyone
stands for. E for everyone.
What's your favorite thing that you've sucked as Kirby so far?
What a question.
That's the reason I said it.
There's this. I like the sword, but that's in almost all the Kirby games. Mm-hmm. He has like a Link hat on when he cuts him up and he has a sword. But there's this enemy that just straight up has a gun. So I just suck that enemy up and just shooting motherfuckers.
How does it shoot? Like, is it just like...
It's just, you just shoot like a little pistol, but you can also hold it and he charges it up and a giant cannon comes out. But as far as like the new stuff, like the big mouth stuff, like I like the vending machine.
Okay.
You can suck up a vending machine and just shoot soda cans out at people.
I'm recognizing a theme here about shooting motherfuckers in the
Kirby
universe.
Shoot people in that game.
Is there like a story that goes on in this game at all? Because like,
yeah, he's in Dreamland, I guess, and honestly, it just seems like out of nowhere this rift opens and he's sucked into this rift and he's in the Forgotten Land and you have to save all the little Waddle Dee characters and you get this little fairy nymph looking character that kind of helps you out along. You get to save her and then she becomes like your assistant.
Okay.
And I think your goal is to pretty much just save everybody that got sucked into there. So you're unlocking them from cages in every stage and you're just there's like 10 in a stage.
Very Rayman-esque.
Yeah, and so it's another and that's another one of those stat things, like you can get all 10 hidden Waddle Dees in every stage and
free them all.
Yeah. But
and
it's
you get
also
a special suck.
Special suck.
Podcast title?
Ridiculousness sucks. Special ridiculousness suck. Okay.
Ridiculous special suck. We're back.
If you turned off the podcast right now, I don't blame you. But it's one of those games that seems like it's unfolding as you play it. Like you don't have the whole story yet. You don't know who the big villain is, even though I could probably guess. But as you're going, you're seeing like, oh shit, it's that guy. Like it's
gotcha. So you haven't beaten it yet?
No, I haven't beaten it yet.
Cool.
I might be like a fourth of the way through. I don't even think I'm super far into it.
That's not that far, man.
Because I've been just playing it little bursts at a time. Like, so if I'm sitting on the couch, I'll play it for 20 minutes, turn it off. I'll play it for 2 hours, turn it off. Gotcha. Stuff like that.
All right, nice.
As far as any other media, Moon Knight.
Dude, Moon Knight's so good.
Moon Knight was very good.
And
I like the fact that when it ended, I had just more questions.
Yeah. But like good, like a good way.
Yeah.
Not like another thing.
I need to know more.
Yeah, not like another thing that happened. That was I'm not gonna spoil anything, but not like another thing where like nothing mattered in it and nothing, and it was just kind of like there.
If you don't know what he's talking about, me and him also saw Doctor Strange: Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, no spoilers.
Yeah, no spoilers.
It's a movie. That's all I'll say. Yeah. I have opinions on it. Those opinions are very one directional, and that's all I'll say.
I think our opinions differ, but I think the reason we feel each side is respectable. Like they don't. Yeah. Our opposite opinions don't clash.
Yeah.
With what the movie is.
Yeah, 100%. Like it's weird because like I can appreciate it for what like I'm just gonna give it a straight up rating. I hated the movie. Like I did not like the experience at all. And then like you were like it was fine, good, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't be like this is a must see Marvel top. Yeah. No, I don't feel like that at all.
But then but
it was like that was fine. That was cool.
I've seen people that are like this is the best Marvel movie of all time, and I'm like that makes me hate it more because people think that. Like, I'd rather watch Eternals again.
I didn't like Eternals.
I didn't either. I'm just like, I did not like Eternals. It was whatever. It just existed, which is fine.
Yeah.
Like, not every single movie in the MCU needs to be bangers, but when you come off of Moon Knight...
That, and they kind of hyped up this movie. Yeah. Like, they said this is going to be the turning point, big banger Marvel movie of the year.
This is where everything has been leading to.
Yeah, that's what they kind of marketed it as.
But, Sonic.
Yeah.
We didn't get to talk about that for obvious reasons. Phenomenal.
I love Sonic.
It was so good.
It's been crowned. It's the best. It's the most successful video game movie, selling, I forgot how many millions, 100-something million dollars worldwide. Mm-hmm. And I think it earned that. It deserves
100%.
that. It is definitely the best. It's the best video game movie because it sticks so true to the source material.
100%. It was definitely a kid's movie. That was the one thing. And it was funny because I was telling you when I went to go see it, I saw it with Ryan, and like I'm like cursing because I curse a lot. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, you know, and it's natural. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, I'm just like, oh, you know, fucks and shits and fucks and shit. And they're just flying, you know?
Right.
And like, we're like walking up to our seats, and I got like my mac and cheese bites because I'm 4. Mm-hmm. And I like sit there for a second. I look around and I look at Ryan. I'm like, I should probably stop cursing. And he looks at me, he's like, yeah. And I'm like, well, it's one of those things where I forgot that it was a kid's movie. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, it's Sonic. Like, yeah. But at the same time, it's fucking Sonic.
It's one thing where it's Sonic. It's been around forever, but then it's Sonic and it's for kids, essentially.
It's like the same thing with like wrestling and stuff like that. Like, I'll go to a wrestling event and I'll be like, fuck it! Like, but then there's like a 4-year-old in front of me, and then I'm like, well, now I feel like an asshole. But now I just said asshole, so now it's even worse.
So now I might as well double down.
Yeah, exactly. As of this point, we're just gonna fucking nosedive. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was phenomenal. It was a fun time.
Definitely.
Post-credit scene was cool.
Yes.
But we'll see what happens with that. I'm curious to see how Mario does the comeback towards it, because like I feel like that's its main competitor.
I feel like, and I guess we'll just say this news bit right here, they pushed that movie to next year now. And honestly, the timing of it was like, I think y'all saw how good Sonic did and was like, shit.
Yeah.
And I feel, but I respect it because they probably feel like there's an integrity with the fact that it's a Mario.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It's like, well, we can't not be at least on the same level now.
They need to be at least on the same level of the first movie, which even to Sonic's chagrin, I don't think it's a great movie. Like, it's a good Sonic movie. It's not a good movie.
I agree with that.
So it's like they need to at least make it on par, if not better than that first one. Mm-hmm. I won't feel bad or anything if it's not as good as this one that just came out.
Yeah.
Personally. Like, I'll definitely be like, well, that one was better, but then, you know, they're going to make Super Mario Bros. 2 because that's just too easy to fucking do. Yeah, it's just like the poster makes itself. You just copy and paste.
Did you happen to see the plot leaked to the Mario movie? And people are saying this is the legit plot.
What is it? Did we predict it?
No.
Damn it.
But I'm reading it, and honestly, I'm not going to say it here because I don't know if people don't want to look it up. You can find it. It's not hard to find. I read the whole plot beginning to end, and I was like, I hate this. This sounds shitty.
Interesting. Did that leak around the time that they pushed it back as well, or no?
But within a couple weeks.
Okay. I wonder if that was like maybe a thing as well. Like, they saw that it leaked out, and they saw people being like, "This fucking sucks." And
some people in the comments were like, "Hey, I like this." Like, I looked at it and I was like, "I don't like this."
I feel you.
Now,
did they try to go to the Sonic route, kind of, or no? Like, where like it's like more like realistic, like humanish, or it's like all?
No, it's animated.
Okay,
animated.
Interesting.
And it was some people, like I said, some people in the comments were like, "Yeah, this is great," and I'm looking at it like, as I'm reading it, I was like, I don't. And then it's who's making it? Illumination, the Minions people.
Illumination.
So there's like...
They go, Illumination! At the beginning of all the movies now.
Yeah. There's like... The one thing I'll say, there's like songs in it because it's Illumination. And I'm just like...
Songs as in like original songs, or like songs as in like on the radio songs?
Songs as in like original songs. Like it's a musical... Like there's musical parts in it. Like they're singing about what's happening type songs. Like a Disney movie would.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I didn't like it. Now, I get it. Once again, like we said about Sonic, Mario is for kids. I completely get it.
Yeah, but like it's not a musical. Like
it's not a musical, but there's parts where it
like,
breaks out into song.
But if the characters sing, it's a musical. That's just the rule. Like if you have a character break out into song, it's a musical immediately. Like the Muppets movie, guess what? It's a musical.
Yeah.
Immediately. Right when the man or a Muppet happens, you're a musical, motherfucker.
Right.
That's what you are, and you have to live with that now. I mean, there's also songs earlier in the movie as well, but like, you know.
I get what you're saying. And again, I'm one man, and I'm fucking 36 years old. So of course I'm coming from like, I've been playing Mario since '89, and I'm not trying to come from that place. It's just that no,
I haven't even read it yet, but just coming from a person who has experience and loves Mario, I can definitely stand behind your opinion, because I most likely will not like it either then, just because common sense exists. But
obviously Nintendo hasn't confirmed it, which obviously they wouldn't. Illumination hasn't confirmed it. People are just saying this is the leaked plot of the movie and this is how it works.
Gotcha. But yeah, man. But as far as me, as games go,
what's up with you?
I've been playing so many games. I need to stop buying games because I have bought so many games in the past like 2 months that I haven't finished. I bought Tiny Tina's. I finished it on my own once, but I want to play it again because it was very, very good. I might want to get the platinum. I don't know yet. I'm debating it, but it was very fun. It was written really well. It really set up the next Borderlands, whatever it's going to be on a better gameplay engine with the sliding mechanics and then the melees being better and whatnot. So that's really cool. I bought Shovel Knight Collection on Switch.
Nice.
Because I was in Florida and we did this thing where like when you're an adult and you're at Disney, it's really nice because you'll go to the parks when the rope drops and then you'll get like to like maybe like a little bit after lunch and you're like, I'm good to go back to the hotel for like 2 hours. You take a nap and then you go back to the park. That shit's phenomenal. Those 2 hours, I'm not always sleeping the whole time, so I need something to do. And also playing exists. So I'm playing like Hades for a while and like, you know, Hades is fun, but there's only so many times I can get my ass kicked by Meg before I'm like, I'm done. And
you want some variation, something else.
So I'm like, okay, what else do I got? I got Nintendo Switch Online, which I can't use on a plane, so there goes that. And then I have Pokemon Arceus, and I don't want to play that game like at all ever again. Pretty much, like I'm done with it. Like
I never got past the intro, and I don't want to play it.
I don't know why I don't want to play it, but it's just I'm done with it as far as I'm concerned.
Right.
I got my joy out of it and it's gone. So that happened. Then I played Shovel Knight. Shovel Knight's fun, but then I stopped playing Shovel Knight. Then I bought the what's the fucking game I just got on PlayStation? Lego Star Wars. Got that. This is the perfect Lego Star Wars game. There will never be one. I see you
streamed it a good couple times.
It will never get better than this, but here's the thing. I don't want to play it.
Why?
I don't know. I
think you just don't have the drive to play it, or you just genuinely, I don't want to play this game.
Both. Like, okay. I don't have the want or need to play this game. And then when I like stream it or something, like I always preface like I just don't feel like playing this because like I know what it is. It's a Lego game. It's very tedious. That's what they are. Like it's like you play through the story one time, and then the free play unlocks. You go back, you try to unlock all the different things. Then you're spending all the studs on unlocking all the characters and shit. And it's just one of those things where it's like I don't want to put the time into that and like waste my time effectively. Like I feel like that's more of a waste of time than me just hopping into Fortnite, which is sad. But maybe I also said maybe it's just because it's a Lego game, and I feel like I've aged out of those. But like this is the perfect Lego Star Wars. Like there will never be a better Lego Star Wars than this one, and I think this is very much nail in the coffin. It's done forever now, which is nice. But so that's a thing. Then I also bought Star Wars The Force Unleashed on Switch. That was the port.
Yeah.
It's really good. I only played 3 or 4 hours, which is another game that I should have like played more of.
Playing more of?
It was only like $20, so I'm not super mad about it.
Yeah.
And then I also bought, there's this really shitty game on Steam that I played with Lucas for like 5 minutes. It's like...
The one you put in the Discord?
Yeah, the horse one.
Yeah.
So you're on a horse, like horseback with a partner, and it's a battle royale in which you have to get to the castle before all of the other people in the lobby. And you have a gun, and your horse, as your horse is running, it can spread all 4 of its legs and drift around corners, Mario Kart style. And then as it like drifts and like goes back to its feet, it boosts like around the corners.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, and it's crazy. It was fun, but it's not great. Like, it's definitely unpolished. It was like $6 on Steam, so like no big deal. But you would like get to a town and there'd be like different guns, different types of guns. Like you'd have the same pistol, but it'd be like a poison version or like a fire one.
Okay.
And then you'd have your healing items, your grenades, and if it would get dark at night, you would need to be in the town, or else you would start dying to like the outside cold, I guess.
Yeah.
And then once daytime came again, you have to leave the town and get to the castle as fast as you can.
It sounds fun.
It's fun.
Okay.
So like, it's not good by any means.
Okay. I see what you're talking. Okay.
Yeah, like it's a fun game to get. That's $6. It's really cool because you can also like host private lobbies. So like, if we wanted to, we could get everyone in the Discord to buy it. So like me, Lucas, like Anna has it now because I bought it for her as like I'm sorry we never played that puzzle game you bought for us a while ago.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so I was like I'm sorry. And it was like an early slight birthday present because I'm still working on her other one because of a situation that happened with a 3D printer part that didn't show up, which you know the story of, which will be on Patreon very, very soon.
I want to tune in for that one.
Oh, yeah. That'll be next week, so buckle up.
Next week's going to be a hell of a Patreon episode.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be... I feel like that's going to be the longest Patreon episode.
It's going to be the longest, and it just might be the most entertaining.
I hope so, because if not, then I'm going to be really disappointed. Yeah. If you guys didn't like that, then there's not much else we can give you.
Yeah, it's a lot.
But so I played that, and then I also just started playing a little bit of Loot River that just came out on Game Pass.
Looks amazing.
It's very tactile and fun. It's like it's really weird how you can explain it. It's like imagine Elden Ring, but top down. And I think it's 16-bit or 32, one of the two. I can't tell because my eyes aren't trained to like know.
It's like enhanced, like you know how they come out with games that are reminiscent of 8-bit and 16-bit.
Yeah.
Like clearly this could not run
100%. Yeah,
it's like enhanced 16-bit.
Yeah. So that top down, slightly a looter because you can change out what you like upgrades you have and whatnot. Run based like Hades. But then also puzzle-based because there's different floating shapes on water that you can move with your right analog stick once you're on top of them.
Okay.
And then you can also kind of use that with the enemies. I found out that if, like, say there's like 3 enemies in a space, and like once you connect to that land that they're on, they start moving towards you. But if you time it right, you can like separate them and like spread the fight out a little bit, so you're not fighting like 8 people at the same time.
Gotcha.
Which is really nice. There's a parry system, you can block, there's different weapons and whatnot, and it's just really fun, to say the least. I'm not good at it, because I'm just not good at those type of games, but like the fact that I was having fun with it, and it was not, not my
your type of game initially.
And it's also made me want to get Elden Ring, which really annoys me because I don't want to buy that game, but everyone around me is like, it's so good. And then I hopped into John, his stream on his personal Discord the other day. Yeah. Because he just streams in his Discord with a couple of his friends. And I'm like watching while I'm playing Apex on this screen. So I'm just like casually watching his stream. And I'm like, man, this looks like fun. This looks like fun. I hate that it looks like fun. I was saying
it to you before, because the more I kept seeing, I'm like, oh, I hate that I kind of want to play this.
But it's one of those things.
But that was back when you were like, fuck no, we're not doing it.
Well, I don't want to play it. That's the thing. Like, I know for a fact I don't want to play it. And like the thing is, if I'm going to play it, it needs to be for the right reason. And like, I don't want it to be just because it's a new game and it's out and everyone's hype about it. Like, it's like Animal Crossing with me. Like, everyone was so hype about Animal Crossing and loved that game. And then right when I got my Switch, that was like the first game I was going to buy. Yeah, I remember you saying that. Nobody gave a shit about Animal Crossing anymore. So I was like, okay, now what?
The time had passed. Yeah, no 100%. One was trying to play it anymore.
But
But I understand that, because since we initially talked about it, now I'm like, well, the wave of interest has gone past me now.
Yeah. It's definitely like that. I feel like my interest is like slightly peaked just because a lot of the friend group is playing it right now. Like Lucas just got it, John has it, and Trevor has it, and like all 3 of them are like loving it, and it's fine. But at the same time, I'm like, I would have a bad time. I know this Plus, I've spent too much money on games that I haven't beat that are good
Tell me
games.
about it.
You know, like
Someone needs to just let you hold it.
Yeah.
So you can play it for a night.
Maybe. Yeah. I'll have to check on that and see if anyone's got a physical version. But at the same time, they play it so often, I don't know if they let me because they'd be like, but I want to play. And I don't see them that often, too.
Right.
So I don't want to be that guy that's like, oh, yeah, let me borrow it. And then I don't see them for a month and they're like fiending for it, you know?
I need my ring. Of the Elden variety.
But, yeah, other than that, movies, obviously. I saw The Northman as on top of the other two.
Yeah.
That movie changed me as a man.
Go on.
It is so visceral and like weird. Like it's such a weird experience to say the least. Like it's not like a bad thing. It's just very like it's a very testosterone filled movie, but not in a bad way. It's just like very much like I need to get revenge for my family, and like it's just this quest to like go back and like murder for your family and like all that shit, but then also finding out that your life's a lie and like dealing with that, and then also finding love, and then trying to deal with like other shit. And there's so much in this movie that's so like condensed, and it's visually stunning. And if you've ever seen The Lighthouse, you ever see with the black and white film with Robert Pattinson and William Dafoe?
I know of it. I never saw it.
Dude, it's a fucked movie. It's really weird and doesn't really have much of a plot, but it's very good. Same director. This is his third movie, and it's just phenomenal. It's a very great epic Viking movie, but if you don't like gore, don't see it. There's also some very like triggering scenes. Like, I'm going to spoil this one scene that happens for context, so if you want to skip ahead. There's a scene in which they pillage a village, which sounds like a fun way to intro the scene.
Village pillage.
But at the end of this scene, they take all the women and children, put them in a building, and then light it on fire.
As you do.
And they hold on that shot for so long.
Oh, so they're trying to trigger you.
Yeah, and like it's very visceral because like you're just like they're doing this like this is a fight, like they're taking over the town, like that's what they're doing. So they put all the people in there, they burn the place down. And then it's like it holds on it for so long until it just cuts to like it burnt down and like all of the stuff on the ground and like the bones. And I'm like, this is a bit much.
That's a lot.
Yeah. And it gets more and more gory and bloody, but it's a Viking movie, so you know. But spoilers over. But see it if you are into that kind of stuff, like Vikings and shit. Like it's probably the most realistic Viking movie there is.
Probably.
So like. That's a thing.
What's the last big Viking movie?
I mean, there's that TV show, The Vikings, right?
What was that on?
Like AMC or some shit.
Okay, I think I do know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I didn't watch it. I just know that it was like a very Assassin's Creed Valhalla. But yeah, I saw that.
Assassins.
TV shows. There's two that I watched recently. One that I didn't like at all, and I don't know why I didn't like it, because I think I didn't like it because I watched this first one, Severance, on Apple TV.
We started that last night, but we didn't get to finish the first. We started the first episode.
Yes.
But got distracted by something, so we haven't gone. We got to go back.
My dude, that is the best show that I've ever watched.
You don't tell me no shit like that.
I'm not even joking.
I'm like, show's over.
Like, legitimately, like, I'm just, like, that's the rest of your week, homework assignment, because I was very much, like, once that show ended, obviously it's going to have another season because it's Apple TV, and that's the way they market their shit. The cliffhanger on this show, the way it ends, is beautiful. Like, I don't like cliffhangers at the ends of, like, seasons and shit. The way that this one did it, it made me want more, but in a way where I'm not mad.
Gotcha.
Because I'm just like, that was so good. I can't be mad about a cliffhanger. I just need more.
Yeah. Give me more of that.
On the opposite end of that, I watched The Good Place on Netflix. Mm-hmm. So the first season of that show is good. Like, it's like very okay, cool. And then you find out like what the deal is. You know, I don't know if you've seen it.
Yeah, I've seen it.
So after the first season,
I think I finished it.
It was just like the same thing over and over and over again. I didn't care anymore. Like season 2 is when like the one dude with the gray hair starts becoming more their friend.
Yeah.
And then like after that, and like he's their friend, everything after that is the same until the very, very end. And I was like so bored from season like 2.5 till like the last, the one episode before the last one. I was bored that whole time. But then the final episode, I was like, okay, that was worth it.
Yeah, and I like the ending of that show.
But I was like really mad about all the other episodes that I had watched until I watched that one. I don't really think that one like made the full season 3 okay or like fulfilled what I thought I wasted time with. But that with all of that knowledge, it made the last episode of season 4 wrap up really well. Yeah, and I liked that, but I didn't like the show, unfortunately.
Understood.
And I think it was because I watched Severance and I liked it too much. That might be the issue.
You're stuck on that. You're on that note.
Dude, I was like, especially with like the themes of that show too, like the cubicle, like 9 to 5 like theme. Dude, it gets so good. Watch that if you haven't. It's on Apple TV. If you don't have Apple TV, do some...
Pirate it.
Yeah, do that.
I don't even get pirated.
That's how I watched it. Slick, baby. This is going to be used in court one day. We keep saying that. Like, whenever I watch the Haptic Intel streams, like, they'll, like, slightly mention, the thing. And then, like, they're in chat, and I'm, like, sitting there, like, this is going to be used in court one day, man. And it's like, yep, one day, but not yet.
But not today.
Yeah. But, yeah, man, that's been my media intake over the past month.
I'm trying to think of anything else. It's hard because, like, now that I'm, like, home a lot, it's just, like, it's one of those things where, like, it's kind of the same day every day. But then you get to a point, it's just like, what the hell have I been doing?
I feel that.
It's like I've been doing the same thing every day. But it's like, I've been trying to catch up on just certain podcasts I listen to. I've been watching Atlanta, their new season.
I need to watch that. I started it back up, and I like, got stuck on episode 4 or 5 of season 1. And I just stopped for some reason. I don't know why. This season is pretty trippy.
But it's been pretty good. I really want to watch Severance.
Yeah.
But that's been about it on top of everything else I said.
Yeah. But now comes the part of the show where we look through the thousands of news stories that happen.
Yeah. That we missed.
Maybe a few that we might skip here and there just because, we're not trying to talk y'all's ears off for more than... How long has it been already?
Almost 1 hour.
Damn. So we'll pick like some of the the highlights to say the least. One thing that is a news story slightly.
Oh wait, you got something coming in the mail.
That's what I was. Yeah, I just saw it in the Discord.
Same brain.
CLD just posted that his friend just got the Steam Deck. My Steam Deck just I got the email for it and I paid for it. A little bit more than I was expecting to pay, but here we are. I forgot how much it was.
I'm terrified because of the one I got.
Yeah, you got the one higher than me. I got the middle one.
No, I got that.
Yeah, so I mean, it's definitely a pretty penny. I am curious to see how good it is. I know it's going to be good. That's the thing. It's going to be a good console. I'm excited for certain people to get it. Like, I'm not to like shun the CLD, but I'm very excited for Ryan to get it because he hasn't had a properly working PC in a while. So like being able to play Steam games again and like that type of stuff, like back like what we used to when like he had like a laptop that was just able to play those games is gonna be really fun. Hopefully he still gets it, even though he's got the high version as well. We'll see what happens. Actually, I haven't talked to him about that in a bit. We'll see. But yeah, I have that coming soon. They just sent me the tracking information today. It was like the preemptive tracking, so it's not actually in the mail yet. It's like, this is the number, but it ain't out yet.
We're processing your thing. Just know that.
Yeah, which is always annoying to me. Like, I'm really pissed off when they do that. I'm like, just send me it when you ship it. Like, once you give it to FedEx, then give me the number.
Right.
Like, don't be like, hey, we bought the shipping label. It ain't going out yet. But here's the tracking number. Like, fuck you. Like,
just let you know we got your shit. We're just letting you know we have it.
Yeah.
And it's gonna go out.
Just don't waste my time, to say the least. But let me scroll up because I forget the exact first story that I said that we could start at. I think it was coming up close.
April 10th?
Yeah, April 10th. The big news. There was a live stream that happened on the 10th for Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts 4
was announced. Yeah,
yes.
That was at the end of the stream, right? Because there was like it was like the 20th anniversary.
I have no idea. I just know it was announced at like 6 a.m.
Yeah, it was like the 20th anniversary, so they were like celebrating it as a whole and whatnot. And I think there was like a couple other things that was shown, but the big deal is Kingdom Hearts 4 completely new direction for the game. Realistic looking.
It's really weird to see it look realistic.
Yeah. It's also weird, too, because the parts where Goofled.
You combine them. They did the fusion dance.
Fusion Goofled. Huh.
Goofled.
But Goofy and Donald, they don't look super realistic.
Donphy.
Isn't that a Pokemon?
You would know that more than I would.
Fan, the elephant one that rolls in the ball.
There you go.
But they don't look super realistic. Like, they don't look like to the point of like this is realism. It looks like it's like that little mix where it's like you look at a Final Fantasy game and you're like, this is a cartoony motherfucker in this world, like a chocobo or something.
I feel like that's on purpose though. Like because I can even imagine Disney being like, we want them to look like the animated characters they're supposed to look like.
Almost like like Sonic and Mario have done with like the video game characters more now, where it's like they are still the cartoony versions, but they have like that fur texture, so it gives it that sense of realism.
And they're just rendered super high.
Just gives it that different tactile feel as opposed to just being like smooth rubber, you know. But which is nice. Yeah. The fighting looked really cool in the trailer, to say the least.
It did.
I'm not like I didn't play Kingdom Hearts 3, so I don't know what happened in that. A lot of people were like, but what happened in Kingdom Hearts 3 doesn't make sense for this to be a thing. But I mean,
I kind of feel like you have to go into those games just on some like whatever you're telling me, and however you connect it to the last one, I just have to go with it.
100%. I mean, it makes me want to slightly play Kingdom Hearts 3 just because I would like to play this because this looks fun with the way that the fighting and like the traversal, like running on a building and whatever the hell you're fighting and whatnot.
Right.
It also looked like the tease for the end might have been Hades being one of the main villains with like the blue and then cutting to red. It could also just be whatever else too. It could be some random Final Fantasy.
Yeah, but it
villain.
could be some new character they just created.
But yeah, I mean, Kingdom Hearts is Kingdom Hearts. You know our feelings on that. It's not the best thing in the world. It might not even be a good thing at all. But
I think if I take my personal feelings out of it, I think Kingdom Hearts definitely has its audience, and the people who love it, and I think this will be more of that. Yeah, just ramped up.
Oh, 100%.
For the new generation.
Yeah,
I mean, if I'm just taking it as it is face value, by just watching the trailer, it looks good.
Yeah, objectively, that looks like a fun game to play. Like it looks more like Final Fantasy VII Remake. Yeah, which is what I think is interesting about it, as opposed to being
it looks better than Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Oh yeah, 100%. But like, it's more in that world. It's the Final Fantasy world, as opposed to being, you know, whatever the fucking place is, like Little Mermaid bitch place, you know, like. But
Little Mermaid bitch place.
The one thing that was cool in the trailer, I don't know if you saw this. There's a part in the trailer in which they're in a forest, and in the background shot of the forest, there's this little like metal shape, and the shape is very specific. It's actually the foot of an AT-ST, the walker, the small one that is in Endor in Star Wars. Yeah, you know Endor, I assume. With
I know Endor. I know the walkers,
the Ewoks.
I'm that familiar.
Yeah. So people are saying this is the Kingdom Hearts that we get Star Wars in, which
that would
might
make
be
sense.
The case. Yeah. So I'm also assuming it might end up being original trilogy type shit, because I don't think they went to Endor in the sequels or the prequels, so that'll be nice for fan service. They'll at least get, you know, they'll probably get Mark Hamill to come on it and do Luke's voice, which would be nice. I don't know if they would get Harrison Ford. They might get a duplicate voice actor for that. Mm-hmm. And then obviously you can't get Princess Leia because sad.
Definitely.
But yeah, pretty cool, to say the least.
Look good.
You're next, I don't want to talk about Stranger Things. Fuck Stranger Things.
All right, skipping that.
I'm sorry. I just don't care about that show anymore. I'm not in high school anymore.
Well, a lot of these are quick hits anyway. So Stranger Things Season 4 was announced, and they put a trailer out. Yeah. Sonic Speed Simulator is a 100% authentic Sonic game / landscape put into Roblox. And the reviews it is getting is saying, how come this is better than actual Sonic games that Sega puts out? Yeah.
You got to get Trenton to hop on that and see what he thinks, because he's the Roblox man. He's our inside man.
He is. So I'll have to get him to do that. Jason Momoa is in final negotiations to star in the Minecraft movie.
And it's rumored that he's playing Steve, like Minecraft Steve. But here's the thing, though.
What?
Ready for
How?
this? It's live action.
Why would you make that live action?
It's not animated. It's a live action Minecraft movie.
Sometimes I'm like, why though? Like, just animate that.
Or just don't at all, ever, not at all. Let's just take that out of the equation completely. That was a noise. But next up, there is a rumor that is the evidence of a Game Boy Advanced emulator on the Nintendo Switch, which might be coming up on the Nintendo Switch Online, which would be very cool. I don't know what games I'd want from Game Boy Advance to come to that.
I just think this was an obvious next step, and we're gonna get the games. I think it's one of those things where like you can't think of it, but once they show you the lineup, you're like, oh, of course.
But I feel like there's gonna be some that I really want that they're not gonna do as well. Like there's games that are different IPs that Nintendo probably just can't get. Like I would love to get the Metabots Game Boy Advance game on there. Yeah, that ain't gonna happen. I don't think that's happening. Any of the Dragon Ball Z, Goku's whatever. Goku's
Legacy of Goku.
That guy. Yeah, I was gonna say Goku's butt plug because I just really couldn't figure it out. But
the hidden game.
And then Boo's Fury, but those definitely won't be on there. Yeah. Probably at least one of the Pokemon from that area.
I'm sure. Once they go handheld, they can't not put Pokemon on there.
At least like, I mean, it'd be dumb not to put both on, in my humble opinion, because like, why would you not?
Right.
It's the same game, just with a different legendary, and if you think otherwise, you're wrong. Sorry.
Unless they go full Nintendo and be like, we didn't do this because now we're going to come out with Pokemon Collection. Buy this, and it's all the old games.
Honestly, they could do that. Like, their own Nintendo Switch Online thing, but it's strictly for Pokemon, and it's like Pokemon Snap, Stadium. Yeah. What else? Like all
red,
the Game
blue,
Boy
yellow,
games.
Gold, Silver.
Yeah,
all those,
all the DS games and all them, and it's literally the crazy part about that is it's just the same game, just reskinned, and they would make bank.
Yes, people would hand over fist buy that.
Oh, 100%. That'd be hilarious to see people like freak out about that too. I think because that's such a simple thing to want. Yeah, and like to be excited about that, I feel like, come on, man, you realize you're paying for the same game, just like slightly upgraded, but not really.
Pretty much.
Hey,
but that's what we as gamers do.
Yeah, that is very true.
I've bought Mario too many times.
Regular Mario,
same like ass Mario.
Oh Jesus! But also Kotaku reported that Sega is in the development of a big budget Jet Set Radio and Crazy Taxi game. So that is very cool. I've never got the chance to play Jet Set Radio.
Jet Set Radio was dope.
Yeah, I love the
super
logo
dope. And I want to see what this is like. I'm also interested in see what a big budget Crazy Taxi game is in the modern day.
Hell yeah! But after that, what do we got? Oh yeah, the Thor trailer came out.
Yes,
in our stead.
I did see that.
Yeah, there's been 2 so far that have come out.
I didn't know it was coming out so soon.
Yes,
I don't know how I missed that.
It comes out in
July.
2 months, right? Is that 2?
July 8th, I think. No. Yeah, July 8th.
What month number are we in?
We are, what month number?
Yeah.
This is 5.
And July is the 7th?
Yes.
So 2 months. Look at that math.
Look at that. I'm proud of you.
I work in payroll. But yeah, that came out. You guys. It looked okay. I don't think it looks good. I'm getting to the point, and I feel bad about this, because our dude over at Haptic Intel, Mr. Josh Tull, he's been heavily hating on everything Marvel. He's saying like all the shows suck, every single one of them. All the movies have sucked. I don't agree with that. And I also don't agree with that. But he's just been like on a fuck Marvel kick. Mm-hmm. And after Doctor Strange, I'm like really mad that he's like slightly right about some of the movies. Like I'm like, but this movie looks like it's just going to be like dick and fart jokes. Like.
The way I saw the trailer, and it felt like, and this is my critique, like whether I like a movie or not, this has been my critique of this phase. Mm-hmm. It looks fine, like they all look. It just doesn't look like it has, like you watching this like, so what's the direction? Like where are we going?
There is no direction, I feel, right now. That's the thing. I said it in the Discord. I said the MCU is in shambles right now. Like I feel like, and like shambles isn't like an overall bad comparison. I feel like it's just the sense of like everything is all over the place. They're not consolidated anymore. Like the Endgame was the last time we got something where everything made sense together.
Avengers era kind of spoiled us in terms of direction.
I mean, it took 10 years to get there, and I get it.
But it worked for all 10.
It didn't feel like this slog.
Yeah.
Like, now I'm like, when's it going to be 10 years again? Because, like, I just want the next Endgame. Because, like, I want to feel not like that.
No, they're saying that's Secret Wars.
And that's fine, but, like, nobody's going to appreciate Secret Wars when it comes out for what it actually is. People are going to be like, well, why is this happening? Like, what is this whole, like, battle planet? That's such a stupid concept. Like, what? Like, suck my ass.
Like I said, my critique has been, like, Doctor Strange kind of, like, I started with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And as much as people love Spider-Man, and I liked Spider-Man.
I love Spider-Man.
It just felt like, you know what? This phase seems divisive.
Yeah.
Spider-Man felt like this whole thing was just an excuse to get the crowd reaction of 3 Spider-Men. Yeah. It wasn't to drive a story, so to speak. You had to add story in it to drive in order to get to the next movie. But
the main reason was to get the reaction.
Right.
And that was it. Yeah.
And then Doctor Strange, I thought it was okay, but I think it has the same issue because it gets, no spoilers obviously, but then the big crowd pleasing moments, it comes off as like, that was cool, but now it just makes me feel like you're just headed toward the crowd pleasing moment. You want the eruption and the videos of people, oh shit.
Yeah, as opposed to like good story or like quality story that makes sense without plot holes. It's weird, man. I don't know, but that came out. It looks okay. Jane Foster Thor looks amazing. I'm really curious if they do her actual comic accurate storyline where she has cancer and like she becomes regular and looks normal. Not regular. She looks like she's full of life, you know, as Thor. But then when she powers down and puts down the hammer, she's like skinny and bald.
See,
and,
I don't know about that.
Yeah, and every single time she goes Thor again, her cancer gets worse.
Also, it's like a risk reward type situation.
So like she can save people, but will die quicker.
Man.
Yeah. So that's a thing. I hope they do that. And I mean, they can do it very easily because in Thor: The Dark World, the movie that nobody wants to talk about, the red reality stone was in her, and like in theory bonded with her, and that could have left like negative effects. How like the other stones left on the other people, like Captain Marvel and Scarlet Witch, obviously.
Right.
I mean, Scarlet Witch was more like amplified, and then Captain Marvel, it was just like, here you go. But yeah, so it should be interesting to say the least. But then in sad news, sad news, sad, but also like it's fine. You know, like it's sad, but like our lovely.
I was sad.
I'm very sad, but like I trust them. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Part 1 has been pushed to next year, right? Because this is like an old one. This is June 2nd.
Yeah, let me go right back to that.
I think it went later in the year. I could be wrong. It says June 2nd, 2023, but I thought it was later in the year. But I could be wrong. And then Part 2 is March 29th. 2 is March 29th. So there's 2 movies that are technically in lieu right now. The second one got its official title. It's not Part 2 anymore. It's
I'm about to go back to it. It's Beyond the Spider-Verse.
Gotcha. So those 2 movies got pushed back, which is pretty sad, but at the same time, I trust them after Into the Spider-Verse, which is literally the only perfect superhero movie I think we've ever gotten.
Do you think that's because it's animated?
I don't think it has anything to do with the medium. I think it has everything to do with
writing,
the love put behind everyone. Not only just the animators, the voice actors, and then also just like everybody behind it. Like it came from a place of like love of the character of Miles Morales and wanting to like put him into the spotlight while also having all these side characters to be like, hey, everyone else is represented too. You know, the whole anyone can wear the mask thing. Yeah. Like giving that. But then also just being like, also Miles is Spider-Man now. Like, get with the program type shit.
Like, don't overlook this anymore. He's here and he's here to stay and respect.
Yeah. And I think that was just perfectly done as opposed to pretty much every other superhero movie where it's just like, very ham-fisted and like, yeah, we can get really good written stuff, and we can get our end games and our fucking, you know, what's the Ragnarok's one of the better ones, I think, even though it's a comedy movie. And then you got like the shows like Moon Knight and how that's very character driven with really good stories showing off like a set of people that aren't really represented really well and doing it in like a pretty good way.
You know what Moon Knight did very well, just to touch on that really quick? It had a way of like telling the story it wanted to tell, whether you got confused or not, for people who are who aren't familiar, because I'm not familiar with Moon Knight at all. I know zero going in unless you told me some shit. I know nothing. So it had a good way of like confusing me, but not to the point where I'm just like, I don't want to watch this shit. Yeah. It would just be shit like an episode would end and I'm like, I don't know what is happening. But it was really good at roping you back in, coming back around, making it make sense, and then having you
get like, confused again. And then you're like, what now?
Having you confused. But then like there was points where I was confused to the last episode, and then they so well brought it full circle. I'm like, oh, like that moment hit me. Yeah. And then just to fuck me at the very end, like now you're confused again and you still want more. Yeah.
It's really good. I'm glad that it's going to get a season 2 as well. It was funny. Marvel had a tweet out and it was like, see the series finale is, I think it said the series finale. And then they edited it and they changed it to season finale.
Oh, they did?
Yeah. It went from series to season. I was like, okay, so series is like, this is it, you're done. We're going to see him in another thing probably. Like, we're going to see him in Midnight Suns 100% when that comes running around. It's going to be like him, Blade, probably Ghost Rider, hopefully. And like a lot of like the more supernatural people and probably Black Knight as well.
Was it Wolverine in Midnight Suns?
He's in the game, but I don't know
if he's
going
to be... Maybe I'm just thinking of the game, yeah.
I don't know if he'll be in the show just because I don't know what the fuck they're doing with the X-Men after everything that's going on right now. And it's not even a spoiler because it was in the fucking trailer, but annoying. Anyway, Marvel happens.
Marvel happens, man. It keeps happening.
But after that, Gearbox came out and talked about a new Tales of the Borderlands coming out. This is interesting because the original one was done by Telltale. This is not going to be done by Telltale since they aren't really a thing anymore. Right. It is going to be done by Gearbox and 2K by themselves. I'm looking forward to it. I really liked the first one. It was a nice little like companion piece to, I think it was out before Borderlands 3. So like right when you got done 2, there was like this weird era.
It was like a bridge to 3.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yes, but no. Because like it doesn't matter what happens in this to happen to 3. It was very interesting. It was pretty much like, if you want to go play the first one, highly recommend it. But the main character in that has a heavy relation to a character in the second game. Okay. So like if you play the second game, you will appreciate Tales of Borderlands so much more. You don't really need to because they explain it well in Tales of Borderlands, but either way. But phenomenal game series, Telltale-like, where you just choose your options. It's more like a movie than a game itself with quick time events, but I'm looking forward to it specifically. Next!
New Star Wars game from the Uncharted creator announced.
Hell yeah.
Skydance New Media has announced that it is working with Lucasfilm Games on a new Star Wars action-adventure game that will feature an original story. That is from GameSpot.
Yep. And that's not even the only Star Wars news. There's more coming out.
It is not.
Quickie news that was posted by CLD. Apparently Borderlands 3 just got crossplay recently on April 22nd, which is hilarious. They never wanted to do crossplay for some reason in that game. Like even Tiny Tina's, I think it was not crossplay until like very, very late in the game when they announced that was going to be a thing, which people are very thankful for, namely me, because I get to play with my friends who are on Xbox and PC, like Nicole and Frankie. And we haven't played in a while, but it was fun when we did. So there's that. So yeah, that's neat, I guess. The PlayStation Plus things targeted for June 13th, which we don't really know much about still. We're still waiting on direct to like come out and be like, hey, info. But
I want to know what you think of this next one.
Oh, the CLD one. So Spider-Man dev wants to remaster the original PS1 game. The game's lead designer is on board, and now for all the red tape. This is being reported by thegamer.com. I would like that, but I don't know if I would at the same time.
I don't know. You just have to really love that PS1 game if they do it, because it's like, are you gonna make it play like that, or is it remastered? Because it doesn't say remake.
Yeah.
Because it made me think it's just gonna be visual upgrades.
Yeah. Remaster makes me think they're gonna redo like some stuff that doesn't need to be redone, especially with like. You can just get the regular, like you can emulate that game or get it. I think you can get it on Steam. I could be wrong, but like that's fine with me. Like we played it on a PlayStation 2 and streamed it like a couple of times, and it was it clunky? Yes, but that's the way it's supposed to be.
It's the way of the time,
and like it still is good. The story's fun, and it's a fun beat 'em up, button mashing kind of shitty game.
Yeah, it's really the dev wants to. So this isn't confirmed to be happening or anything, but like I don't know if you can do this in an era where the new Spider-Man games are out.
Yeah, especially when how good they are as well too.
The only way it would work is if it said a remake and Insomniac's gonna help. Then you're talking about something different.
That'd be pretty neat. You know, it'd be cool if they did like an Uncharted 4 thing. Like now in Uncharted 4, Nathan Drake plays Crash Bandicoot.
Yes.
That'd be cool if there was like a scene in the new Spider-Man game where like Miles and Peter are chilling in Miles' apartment and like Miles is playing the Spider-Man 1 PlayStation game and then Peter's like, oh, I remember this. And then you get to play like the Scorpion boss battle or something.
Miles
in
has to
that
say
game.
something like they made a video game out of you?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, man, like wait a couple years back they made a
Whatever
video.
happened to this villain? He's got the weird tail. You don't even want to know, man.
Yeah, that would be, the banter would be great.
Yeah, that would be so, and you just be playing it and like, you're welcome, Insomniac. Your game's probably already done by now, but still. What's next?
What is next? Okay. From Activision's newest financial results, Modern Warfare 2015 sequel to be the most advanced experience in franchise history. So I guess that's coming up. New free-to-play Warzone will be revealed later this year, built from the ground up. Diablo Immortal launches June 2nd. So pretty much Activision put out their financials and their plans going forward.
Yeah. You see the new event they're doing soon?
No.
It's King Kong versus Godzilla.
Oh, wait, I did see this. That looks stupid.
It looks stupid, but like if it's like a live event like how Fortnite did, they did one where it was like a mech, like almost like the Power Rangers, it was more like Voltron, actually. It was like Voltron versus like this giant like kaiju, and you were on the map just floating in air as they fought and destroyed stuff on the map.
Oh, okay.
And it happened live while you're just in the middle of a BR.
See, that sounds cool.
Yeah, and that'd be cool if like you drop into Warzone and it's like
they're destroying the city around you,
and like it's just like some cinematics, like you can see it from like a certain area, or if you're in one of the areas that gets destroyed, guess what? You get fucked.
That would be
stepped on.
That would be dope.
Yeah.
The pictures I saw, I'm just like,
yeah. They did release like some blueprints and stuff recently, where it was like the gun skins and whatnot. There's a Godzilla one that's pretty neat, where you inspect it, and it looks like Godzilla, like all the like scales and shit. But if you inspect it and hold it up in the air, it does like the Godzilla scream and like screams out the tip and it's like shaking. Yeah, it's pretty neat, but it's like $30 because Call of Duty.
Yeah. What we got up next? Ubisoft developers suggest that the company could be preparing for a possible sale. Mention factors. No Guillermo left to take. That is what that says, right?
I don't know which one you're looking at.
Then.
Oh, no, I know.
Ongoing workplace controversy. Senior devs leaving. Big projects struggling. Another account says Ubisoft draws buyout interest. According to Bloomberg, the French game publisher behind Rainbow Six Siege and Assassin's Creed has attracted preliminary takeover interest. Potential suitors include private equity firms Blackstone and KKR, but remain at an early stage. And I remember Ubisoft being one of those companies that was talked about a while ago. Like, I wonder if somebody's going to buy Ubisoft. So I don't know what's going to come of this. The fact that private equity firms are going to buy it is eyebrow raising to me. It's not like Microsoft or Sony.
Yeah.
But it could just be a middle ground move to where they buy it and then one of the bigger people buy it later. I don't know. I guess more to be revealed from whatever's happening there.
Yeah. What is next? Elon Musk bought Twitter.
Yeah, I'm sure people know about that by now.
Yeah, that's a thing. I don't know why that matters. It was funny today. he tweeted something like that was weird, like if I die or some shit.
I did see that.
And then Mr. Beast was like, "Yo, if you die, can I get Twitter?" And he's like, "Yeah, okay."
I didn't see that line.
Yeah. He's like, "This is legally binding." But
it's almost like I wish I would have tweeted that type of tweet.
Yeah. But then also we talked about at the beginning, Miyamoto came out on Nintendo of America's account and said that the Mario Bros. Film will be pushed back to next year for spring 2023. It's ironic because it's coming out like later in the year. Is it later for us and then later? Or...
It's earlier. It's later in Japan than it is here.
That's the weird part to me. I mean, I get that it's in an English voice cast, but like...
That's probably why, because they didn't make it. They didn't develop it. But
wouldn't
Miyamoto's on board, so you would think it would be over there.
It would, in my opinion, it should be at the same time. Like, that's stupid to me that you wouldn't have both of them.
That's like Sonic didn't come out at the same time now.
That's dumb.
It came out, it
originated.
Right.
There.
Exactly. But I'm assuming because it's shot here. I don't know what the
fuck America, dude.
What the politics are with that.
That's something else. But that's a thing. I'm not super mad at that, if I'm being honest. I don't really want to see the Mario thing for a while, if I'm being honest. Like,
I don't... Again, it was never confirmed, that plot thing, but that happening and then the pushback. People are like, is that plot thing real? And then they saw Sonic and was like, it's not going to stand up too well against that. I don't know. I
just know that the trailer is going to be so annoying, though, because you know what they're going to fucking do? They're going to do the same thing that Buzz Lightyear did, except for they're going to keep it going until the movie comes out, where it's like the whole trailer, nobody talks except for other characters. And then right when Mario is about to speak,
it's going to go off.
It just cuts, and it's like
Spring 2023.
Yeah. And that's what it's going to be, because they don't want you to hear Mario yet. And it's literally just going to be Chris Pratt. It's just going to be, hey guys, I'm Star-Lord. Oh, Jesus. And Arnold Schwarzenegger's daughter. Oh, baby.
It's like, at that point, it's Nintendo. And that's the biggest thing. I want to be like, show the trailer then. If you're going to push it, hype us up.
I don't even know if they have a trailer.
That's exactly. And I think now, if we believe the Sonic controversy is the why, they probably was like, we're definitely not showing the trailer now.
Think about it too. I don't know how busy Chris Pratt would be, but like, I don't think he would be working on this at the moment either, because he just got done working on the new Jurassic World. And then right when he finished that, he's now on Guardians of the Galaxy immediately. And he was working on Thor Love and Thunder. So it's like he went from that to that to that. When did he have any time to record voice lines? Like, I'm not saying he's 24/7 on set, but it's like when you're playing a certain character, you kind of want to focus on that as opposed to being like, oh, let me go into the voice booth and go play Mario for 30 minutes and record a couple lines.
Maybe, because you got to think about those other two roles he's done multiple times now. So maybe it's not hard for him to get into those characters and then jump into this character.
Then also Seth Rogen, he's in a Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers.
And that's done, though.
Yeah. But he was in that, and now he's recording for Donkey Kong at the same time, too.
Yeah.
Something's weird. That movie, I don't like the look of it at all. But I really like the voice cast for Chip and Dale, and I really like the reason why one of them is 2D and one of them's 3D.
Yes. When they finally said it, I was like, okay.
I really, really like that, and I think it's funny. It's very Looney Tunes back in action.
Right.
Like the scene in the cafe where Scooby and Shaggy are talking to Matthew Lillard.
I only seen it once. I'm trying to remember.
It's funny as hell because the cartoon version was like, yo, man, you better not screw me like you did in the first one. And then he's like, I'm sorry, I thought I did a good job, man. He's like, and then Scooby's just growling at him next to him. And like, it's very good.
I love taking them out of their normal kind of character to do that.
It was very cool. And that's kind of what this movie feels like. But at the same time, everything else, like, have you seen the most recent trailer with Peter Pan in it?
Yes. Old, disgruntled Peter Pan.
Everything else in the trailer, I hate. I don't like any of the stuff that's happening in it besides Chip and Dale.
They're going to carry it.
I mean, they have to.
Yeah, they gotta have to.
It's Andy Samberg and John Mulaney. Of course they're going to carry it.
Too. I love those two. They're great.
Spider-Ham and, I don't know, an animated character that Andy Samberg has played. Oh, he's played the son-in-law from Hotel Transylvania. The orange hair guy.
Oh, got you.
Yeah.
Did you know that Andy Samberg and Chris Pratt were on the list for the Sonic movie to play Sonic? Chris Pratt was on the list to play Sonic and Tom was his name? Mm-hmm. He was on both. Imagine a world where Chris Pratt was the voice of Sonic and Mario. Or he was the voice of Sonic and Tom. And he was Tom, the voice of Tom. That'd have been funny as shit.
I'm trying to imagine Andy Samberg as Sonic, and I don't hate it.
Tom Holland was on the list too.
I would have hated that. Him and his weird English accent. American accent, that's the wrong one I meant to say. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think, who would I cast Andy Samberg as, though, in the Sonic universe? Because I like... who is Sonic now?
Fucking Ben Schwartz.
Him. I love him.
Yeah.
But what character in the Sonic universe could Andy Samberg play?
I don't think there's one for him to play right now. Because I don't see him as Knuckles. I don't see him as Tails. I don't know who he would have been. Unless he can just do shit with his voice that I don't know about.
Could he... What's the robot Sonic?
Metal Sonic.
Is he like... Does he have a voice? Or is it just like robot-y?
It's robot-y.
I would like that. If it was Andy Samberg's voice with like a technological like distortion on it, and he just kept glitching out and saying stuff like, gotta go quick.
Like, you know what? Sonic purists would hate that because he doesn't really have dialogue. He has like menacing dialogue. Like he spoke in, I think, the anime movie, and was just like, there can only be, like, he was like programmed to say things.
Well, that would work really well with Andy Samberg, I feel, though. Like, he would just be trying, like Ben Schwartz would say something like, "You never take my powers." Like, "Power I will take."
If they just wanted to completely flip the character, it would work.
It would be like a weird evil that's like, he's evil, but he sounds cute while doing it.
If I can, now that we're further enough away from Sonic, I wanted the reveal to be metal and not what it was.
Yeah.
Especially if we're going timeline, that whole metal saga came first.
We'll probably won't ever get metal, probably, then, knowing how this works.
Well, they said after Sonic 2, they're kind of doing what they want. Like, they're going to still reference the game storyline, but they're going to be taking more liberties after Sonic 2.
So it's really going to be a kid's movie, is what you're saying?
Probably.
Tom's just going to be like, "I'm your grandfather now."
Look at me, I'm aged.
Look at me, I'm old. Now you are young still because you're still a kid.
Thanks, Granddad. And then I'm going to throw a fucking fit.
Let's go play bocce ball.
Yes, Knuckles loves victory in bocce ball. I'm like, it's over. I stopped it too.
Yeah. Everything else after that doesn't exist. But next up, do you want to take this one, or do you want me to
Disney
run
Dreamlike Valley?
Yeah, this game
was announced by Epic Games. You know more about what is this again?
So it's Disney Pixar, kind of like The Sims, but more in lieu with like a RuneScape Roller Coaster Tycoon looking game. Where it's RuneScape mobility, it looks like, where you're like walking around like a town, and there's like other Disney characters and stuff, and you can like level up different aspects of your character. But then it's also kind of like, it looks like you may be able to like build like your area and your park and your home, and then it's also Sims like, because you can make different relationships with like the characters, like you can be friends with them and shit. It looks not terrible.
When y'all were originally talking about it, maybe I was still kind of fucked up around this time, but like I watched the trailer, but I was like, I kind of don't get it. And then I think you kind of talked about it. Yeah. And I was like, okay.
I mean, like, it's like Sims. Like, I don't really get the appeal of Sims, personally. That's not my thing. Mm-hmm. I know people who love The Sims, people who listen to the show that love The Sims. Mm-hmm. But, like, it's one of those things where it's like, it's different strokes for different folks. Like, if that's your type of game, cool, awesome, good for you. This looks like it could be Sims-like, but also includes some sort of, like, RuneScape RPG-esque type thing. Yeah. Without, like, you know, like, the fighting and whatnot that comes with that. But it would have, like, you know, you can get your woodcutting level up or some shit like that. Or it would be, like, your friendship level in this or whatever. I don't know.
I got that vibe from it.
Yeah. It doesn't look terrible. It looks very well made. Like, it's a Disney game. Like, most Disney games look like, you know, they're going to make some money. So they put it into it. But, looks okay. But next up after that is the next PlayStation Plus games this month, which I think suck, except for one of them. So we're getting FIFA 22, Tribes of Midgard, and I gotta zoom in on it again, Curse of the Dead Gods, which looks like more of like an indie type game. But I really don't like Tribes of the Midgard.
You tried it? You played it?
Well, no, I don't like it on the principle that it's literally just a copy paste of Valheim. Mm-hmm. And like it's just a AAA studio taking Valheim.
I remember how many times they kept showing this game. Where what conference were you watching where they
Summer
kept showing
Games? Or was
maybe it was Summer
maybe
Games.
It was E3 actually.
But I remember that game coming up so many times.
It was Game Awards.
It was okay.
It was Game Awards. I remember now. I think if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Who cares? But yeah, it was. It's just annoying because it's like one of those things where it's like you see a successful game and Valheim is so good for what it is and it's constantly updating. I haven't played it in a while.
Yeah.
That being said, but then this game is just like, hey, that game, I'm that. That's who I am, and I'm gonna do it with Fortnite colors, and that's literally
that's what
the
it looks
gist.
like. Got it.
Yeah, but FIFA is dumb, and I'm kind of sad.
Well, people who love FIFA, that's a good get.
Yeah. John did say in the Discord that Curse of the Dead Gods is a lot of fun. He's played a good bit of it. It's like a less narrative-based, more deliberate and darker Hades. So he's at least... That's the one where I'm like, this doesn't seem like they're scamming us.
Yeah.
Like, you know?
Yeah.
Most months this year have felt like we've been getting scammed by PlayStation Plus. Not gonna lie. But, yeah.
Word.
Next up, it was rumored CLD showed that Avatar: The Way of the Water, Avatar 2, would be showed before Doctor Strange 2.
Spoiler alert, it was.
It doesn't look like any of the plot is in that at all really yet, besides the fact that the main dude and Zoe Saldana's character have a baby who is a human.
I noticed that, and then when I'm watching the trailer, I'm just like, all right.
I mean, it makes sense, but like also no.
All right. It makes it like optically it looked strange.
Yeah. It makes sense, like he used to be a human, but also like he's in this avatar body, and like
how did that work?
If his avatar body was made in like this test tube, right? How does his avatar jizz produce a human baby if it's his avatar form?
I'm sure all will be revealed.
I don't want it to be.
The beginning of that movie is just hardcore. How they have hardcore sex.
We saw that in the first one.
True, we did.
They fuck with their ponytails. It's weird.
I forgot that.
Yeah, dude. That's what like I saw like a ride through of that the river ride at Animal Kingdom because we didn't go there, and I was just like watching like a video ride through of it, and there's like the Navi river lady at the end doing this under a tree. I'm like, yo, she fucking.
She fucking.
Yeah, like she just got her like ponytail like out the back, and she's just got like 3 dudes just like doing that while she's dancing around and like singing and shit.
If I was in that time, I'd be like, I want to go back to the old fucking.
Yeah.
Are you interested in Avatar 2?
Visually, it looks stunning.
It does.
That's the only thing that I would want to see it for.
That was the whole thing about the first one.
I mean, I will see the movie because I have AMC A-list and I can do that. But as far as like fan of the franchise, not really. I'm just more of a fan of like the technology behind it, and it's weird because like the first one I haven't seen in a while. So like when I saw that trailer, I was like, this looks like a lot of the same. But I highly doubt that that's the way it is. I feel like my brain is just romanticizing what the original one was because obviously they've made strides in technology since then. So
it's a beautiful trailer.
Yeah, it looks great.
We're talking about how it looks.
The one thing I hated about the preemptive... Did you see it at AMC?
No.
Fuck.
I was at a Regal.
They showed 4 minutes of Mission Impossible, or no, what was it called? Fucking... The plane one.
Oh, Top Gun. Yeah.
They showed 4 minutes from the movie at AMC, and it was just the same thing over and over again. It was like them doing like trainings where like Tom Cruise would like show up and be like, hey, what's up, flyers? And then they would like do a test dog fight where he would shoot them but not actually shoot. Yeah. Like he would get them in the line and he's like, bang, you're dead, go land. And then they would do push-ups. And then it was like rinse, repeat for 4 minutes straight. And I was so fucking done with it. And then when it finally ended... They played the regular trailer.
So you had even more time.
It was like a solid 6 minutes of Top Gun Maverick that I didn't give a fuck about. I will not be seeing that movie. Go fuck yourself, Tom Cruise. It's not even because of him. It's just because I can't stand.
I can't unsee that
shit. It's just too much. But yeah. What's next?
Xbox and Bethesda Game Showcase announced for June 12th.
Yeah, lots of June stuff happening.
June's big. Big stuff going down.
We don't have much left. I'm trying to think of
Mandalorian RPG in development, says Xbox Insider.
I don't think that one's really anything, but Overwatch 2 beta started.
Overwatch 1.1 is coming out.
I wouldn't even say 0.1. I would just say 1. It was kind of sad how much of the same game it is, to be honest. They changed a couple abilities of some of the heroes to make them a little bit different. They took it from 6v6 to 5v5. You can only have one tank per team now, which is really weird. And then there's a new character. That's it.
Yeah.
They still haven't shown the co-op mode yet.
That's the mode I want to see.
Which is funny because I'm pretty sure it's just going to be what the like events were in Overwatch 1, where it would just be like, oh, limited time event. Here's like a 3-part story where you just face waves of bots over and over again until you get to the end, and that's it. 80% sure that that's what it's going to be. It's not going to be anything different except for maybe a cinematic in between some of the cutscenes. That's it. And if it is,
no, then it's
big thumbs down.
Square Enix has sold Eidos, Crystal Dynamics, and Square Enix Montreal to Embracer Group, including their IPs Tomb Raider, Deus Ex, Thief, etc., for $300 million. Transactions likely to close between July and September of 2020 this year. The short of it, for the cliff notes, Square Enix Western Studios have underperformed over numerous titles. Its bigger growth areas in the past year have been from Japanese studios and smartphones, MMOs. Square Enix was looking to offload Western studios for a while. Embracer is paying the full amount upon completion. And I read more after this saying like the downhill thing started with Avengers. And them feeling like they didn't get enough money from Guardians. On top of everything else in between that they're talking about.
I mean, Guardians didn't sell well, which is
But
sad.
It was a fantastic game.
Yeah, that's the annoying part is how good of a game Guardians was, but how nobody bought it because of Avengers probably. Like, I feel like that was the reasoning behind a lot of people, because even I was like, nah, Avengers suck. This is going to suck. But then I bought it and I was like, oh no, this is a phenomenal game. Like, this is a great single player experience, but it's also that too. It's a single player experience. And not many people want to do that anymore nowadays, which is sad, but here we are. Everything's got to have an online mode or some shit like that, co-op.
Or just be a super vast RPG.
Or a BR.
Right. It's Square Enix. That's some ruthless. I mean, not ruthless. Nothing's ruthless in business.
Yeah.
But they were just like, nah, we're done with. We tried.
We tried. Go fuck yourself.
We tried with you American studio. No. Go, leave.
I feel that. But after that, we got AEW coming out with their game that was been announced, and it's called Fight Forever, which is a chant that happens at wrestling events.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's pretty much like if a match is going really well, and like it's just a really good match, like a chant will happen. It's like Fight Forever, and then the clap.
Right,
that.
got it. Makes
and
sense
it'll
now.
Keep going over and over again, which is it's a very good name. The gameplay that they showed they posted 2 videos of 2 female wrestlers that are on the roster. I don't understand the direction this game is taken.
Okay, I was waiting for your explanation because when I saw the video, I was just like, okay,
yeah,
it didn't look like visually bad, and when you and CLD put your reactions up, I was like, okay, I want to know more. Like,
so like the weird thing is that this looks like the WWE game that they were trying to make this after. I can't remember the name of it. It's like the best WWE game or whatever.
Fucking No Mercy?
Probably, yeah. It's made by Ukes, so like them. But the issue is if you watch the first trailer that came out for this game, like way back, the characters were so stylized. Like they were like bulky and like kind of looked goofy a little bit.
Yeah. They gave charm.
Yeah. This is just a realistic look. Like they don't look different than like their real life counterparts, at least to me. So like I'm looking at these 2 people and I'm like, this looks like WWE 2K22, like creator wrestlers. It doesn't even look like special to me, as opposed to like the first trailer we saw. And that's fine if they're going in a different direction. It's just one of those things where I'm like, I expected one thing and now I'm just getting a WWE clone, it looks like, which it's definitely not. Some of the animations are still very weak looking in my humble opinion. There's like a couple times where one of the characters gets chopped and it looks like they don't even react to it. Like it's like if there
I'll have to go back and watch it again.
It's not great. It looks okay, but it's not great. I just don't like the look of it yet. It is still in very early development. They make a point to say that over and over and over again. I don't really like it. So I'm not saying that I'd prefer to play the WWE game, but at least with that, I can go on there and download community creations of these AEW characters.
True.
And then the crazy part about it, I don't think there's going to be a creator wrestler in this game. I don't think they said that. And then there's not going to be...
That seems like an oversight.
It's a big oversight. Plus the amount of people they've added to their roster over like the past year, even like they keep signing more and more people. All of those people aren't going to be in the game. They have a roster of 50 in this game. Only 50 people compared to like the hundreds that they have on roster now. Well, it seems like hundreds. It's definitely a lot though. But they're missing a lot of people, a lot of glaring objections, like, you know, CM Punk, who made like the big debut back into wrestling. He's not going to be in it as far as we know at the moment. And then like new talents and whatnot, like Sting won't be in it. He was not necessarily recent of a reveal, but like he was at least, you know, like far enough back where it's like he should definitely be in the game.
He should be in it by now.
Yeah. And it's fine. I feel like it's one of those, it's like the opposite problem that WWE had, because with 2K, they had the problem where WWE kept just like firing people like left and right. Like
I remember when that was going on.
And the game company had to keep pushing the game back because they then had to take out that character and take out all the stuff related to the character, the entrance music, all that shit, and like their move set. And then like if they still left the moves in there, they'd have to rename it so it wasn't like their move name. Yeah. And then they kind of gave up at a certain point where there's like a solid like 20 people that are still in the WWE game that are now in AEW or somewhere else.
Yeah, I can see how that would cause issues.
And then AEW's over like here that. Just like, we're developing a game for the first time, and then they just keep signing people so they can't keep up. It's a weird field to navigate, but at the same time, I feel like WWE is definitely in the right side of this, where they're like, it's very easy to just make a creator wrestler and just let the community do it for them. I don't
think you should release a wrestling game now that doesn't have that.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's I don't know what it's gonna be. I mean, it's still early. They could come out and be like, "Oh yeah, this is a thing we're doing." Like, it's. I don't think it's that they're not doing it. I just think it's a thing that they haven't said that they're doing yet.
Gotcha.
So that's where we're at with that, sadly. But yeah. Next up, Mr. Keeley came out with some fucking news. Trying to steal our goddamn views and take away our co-streaming.
So, IMAX is teaming... Jeff Keighley tweets, "Get ready. IMAX is teaming up with us for Summer Game Fest on June 9th and the Game Awards in December. That's right. Watch all the reveals, surprises, and announcements with your friends in select IMAX theaters for full-scale immersion. This is going to be cool. IMAX Live." Now, while that is dope, I think that's amazing. If we didn't have a show to do, I would be hype as shit to go watch that in IMAX.
That's the thing that's annoying. It's like, I would love to go do that. But like, we get a lot of good clips out of live reactions of things. Or one of our most
Star
viral...
Wars one. We can't not do this.
It's one of those things where it's like... And then CLD was like, "Save before outing." And I'm like, y'all can, but then we won't have any viewers.
Yeah, we won't. And I don't want to go do this and then come back and react like we never seen it before.
Yeah, that's just... I don't want to do that, but it's cool that it's happening. It's cool to see that it's growing and it's, you know, bigger. But at the same time, I don't... Like, that makes me almost scared that co-streaming might not even be a thing. Which...
Oh, shit, I didn't think about that.
I mean, it might be, but it might be more limited this year, which would be really annoying, but... Yeah. Either way.
But, I mean... It's 2 p.m. Eastern time. It's on a Thursday, June 9th. I'll have to take a half day that day.
Yeah. But as far as everything else goes, there is some stuff that was just posted today if we want to save that for later in the week and record next week's episode. Nightwing, some Gotham Knights stuff.
Yeah, we could save that.
Yeah, save those stuff and then whatever comes out from now until Wednesday. But that's the news section of the podcast. We do... Ironically, people asked questions this week, which is very funny to me because like it's like they knew, and like I don't think we told them.
we didn't tell them, but honestly, they've just been stockpiling questions in there since we've been away.
I mean, the last message we got was about April 25th, I think, previously. Mm-hmm. And then we got 2 recently from the 5th and the 6th. So we have 3 technically, I think. I'm
trying to see where the ones, like the first one we didn't get to answer started.
I don't remember the last one we did.
April 10th.
The Spider-Man one?
Yeah.
We are going so long this episode.
What time is it? We ain't hit 2 hours yet.
Almost. In 10 minutes we will be. So the Anna question, I guess. And then
yeah, I mean we don't have to spend all day on it.
Yeah, there's that one. Kev asked if you could create a new Pokemon, what would it be? And then Lucas asked what was a game where the gameplay was amazing but the story was trash. And then non-Nintendo. We could save the 2 that just came in for Wednesday.
All right. Anna asks, besides Spider-Man, because I know that's what you're going to answer, what game feels the best to play for you? I really loved how it felt to do the bow on PS5 in Horizon 2. I like I mean, this is going to sound like such a me answer, but I liked the amount of athleticism they gave Mario in Mario Odyssey. Like the whole run, throw the hat, jump off the hat, like all that shit he can do in there. Mm-hmm. It just was super fun to play.
Yeah. I wasn't good at it, so I don't know.
I was loving that shit.
I also didn't figure out how to do it without the control. Do you have to use the motion controls for that shit too?
No, like you can do it without the motion controls. You can run, triple jump, throw the hat, dive, hop off the hat, throw the hat again, dive. Like you can like chain all this movement together.
I can't do that. I'm not that good. But it's sad to say, but I feel like I'd probably say Apex. Mm-hmm. It's probably the most like realistic movement based shooter where it just feels like so fluid and like you're just moving in a way that is so much different than any other like shooter game I've played before. Like Call of Duty is very stationary. Besides the one that had the wall running and whatnot, that was. I mean, Titanfall 2 is definitely... I was about to say,
Titanfall 2 is in there for great movement.
The only reason I put Apex ahead of it is just because Apex is like the amalgamation of what Titanfall 2 was and like just pushes upon it a little bit better.
Doom, the new Dooms, like Doom 2006 and Doom... Like, was it 2016, sorry. Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal, like the fluidity and the speed and the way you can chain, like... shooting enemies together and sawing like it was really fast paced and fun.
Trying to think if there's any that are like the opposite of that, like the ones that are just like really clunky to play and not fun. I don't know if there are any that I've played recently.
It's hard because some games I'll say I don't like how it moves, but it's a different type of game. Like it's supposed to move like that for the way the game works.
I'm trying to like think of games that I played where I've not liked the movement. I mean, kind of Horizon 1, I didn't like the movement, but that's just because it was its first of its kind, and then Horizon 2 pretty much like was like, hey, that movement, we got you, baby, and then like made it a million times better. Yeah. At least it felt like that way. I guess maybe like the Dark Souls franchise. Like I really don't like the movement. I hate the movement
in those games
because like I've only played Bloodborne. To be fair, I've never played Dark Souls 1, 2, or 3. But Bloodborne itself, like it just doesn't feel natural. Like it feels like you're trying to go against the normal video game way to play it, and that's not like a good thing. I don't think. Like it doesn't benefit it. Like there's games that make you go outside your comfort zone and make you like feel weird while you're playing it. But like it just doesn't feel good.
It feels like everybody has on like super like heavy armor and you can't move.
The Uncharted games I don't like their gameplay because I like the climbing and shit, But then when it comes to the gunplay, it's the most annoying shit. Like, you're just like peeking over and then peeking over, and it's so. I mean, it's kind of the Gears of War type of play, but I've never played a Gears of War, so I can't just shit on it.
I thought of Gears of War, but that was one that I'm like, I don't. It's not fluid and fast paced, but it's hard to judge because like it's not supposed to be.
Yeah. I just can't judge that one. With Uncharted, I'm at least like, if this is what this is supposed to be, it's not done well. For that, I'm just like, this is not fun, and it's weird how many people he's murdered randomly. But yeah, that would be what I would say.
I feel like we answered that one.
And then I think CLD hopped in and said the Arkham series is the best one that feels to play for him. Lucas hopped in and said, this feels like a biased decision, but Golden Sun, with how you have to combine the Jin and use them in combos to solve puzzles.
Yeah.
It's also a GBA game, so it's not exactly the best for what this question is. And then John hopped in and said, is it bad or cheating to say Super Hot VR?
Nah, not if you're feeling it like that.
He
also said Mario Odyssey, yeah.
You guys are your Mario buddies.
Mario buddies for life.
But Super Hot VR, I would not say is cheating. I agree that the movement is great, but the thing is, as an adult male who doesn't move like he used to, the controller is me, and the movement is clunky, to say the least. And
true to form.
It's very true to form, and let's just say that I fail a lot in that game because I don't move like I used to. So, ladies,
that's
another story for the Patreon podcast coming soon to you.
Patreon, I'm telling you, this next Patreon is the one.
I can't wait to quote what Ryan said about my endeavors on dating apps in Florida, because that's the best quote that came out of that trip. Oh, man.
I can't wait to talk about some nurses in the hospital.
Jesus Christ. And next up, Kev hopped in and he posted a question from someone over on Twitter at PushDustin and said, if you could create a new Pokemon, what would it be?
That's hard.
Before we give our answers, let's just hop in with the meme answer that Lucas sent with a fucking Neopet.
I didn't know what that was.
I only know because it's in the message right below it.
Like, if he would have just posted the picture, I'd have been like, what the fuck is that?
That just looks like some weird furry shit. And then Anna hopped in and said the whole set is just the furniture from Beauty and the Beast. Lumiere is the legendary. That'd be neat. They already do like stuff like that. They've done a lot of food types. I'd love to see a grass fire type, because those two don't go together. Like, I'd love to see.
How would that work?
I don't know at all, but it would be one of those things where I love to see some like weird combos in like the future where it's like, this doesn't work as a Pokemon, but it does, and like
but
it doesn't.
It works now,
and it's not even like, I don't even have an idea for the design at all or anything like that. Like, if anything, it could be like the fire plant from Mario, something like that, where it's like an Oddish or a Bellsprout that just shoots fireballs. Yeah. But like, it would just be an interesting thing, because then the type advantage of it, it's like, what would it be? Like, in theory, if you use fire moves against it, it should be effective and not effective at the same time, because it has that. But then if you use water on it, the fire would be very effective against, but then the water would not be effective against the grass. So it's like, how would it work?
Yeah, how does it work?
But it would be an interesting
But if they can make it work, it'd be very interesting.
Yeah. And it'd be cool to see, like, maybe there's like a new way to do it where it's like, it's a grass fire type and it can switch between the two. Where it's like, it's a fire type if you use this move. So like, say like I use flamethrower and I have like 2 grass and 2 fire moves, but then the person I'm fighting has a water type out, then I'm going to get hit really hard. But then if I use Leaf Blade right after that, it switches my Pokemon to grass and he just switches back and forth.
Someone's going to learn how to cheese the shit out of that.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I dig that.
I don't know. Like, me not being as, like, up on Pokemon, I have to kind of turn towards the Pokemon that are made out of, like, everyday items just to be funny.
Yeah.
And it would be like a mock-up of, like, a PlayStation or an Xbox. It would be like a console, but his name would be Konsoul.
I think they already have that kind.
Fuck.
Well, I mean, it's the Rotom, like that little electricity guy.
Okay.
And he can turn into household appliances. Like he like sucks off a fridge and then he like big mouth modes it and like just becomes a fridge. I don't know if they have a gaming console to be fair.
I would just have a gaming console to get wrap the controllers around and use constrict.
That'd be cool. What if it was like a Nintendo Zapper?
It's just a gun.
Yeah. I mean, they have guns in Pokemon now. True. So there's that. I still want to play that one game. Remember that one that was like the Pokemon bootleg and it's like Fortnite with guns?
Yeah, what was that?
I forgot
all about that.
There's like the sweatshop of Pokemon making AKs.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it is, but we need to figure that out.
We have to find
that. Yeah, because that looked like something.
What if they just got super lazy and just got permission from Nintendo and it's just like trainer throws out Kirby. It's just Kirby. It's not even like a Pokemon.
And he's just got a gat.
Kirby
just strapped up with a Tech 9, you know?
Meta Knight is a gym leader.
He's got a Gatling gun.
They put out one of those like Cyberpunk 2077 yellow posts about we are running out of ideas. So we're just taking other properties.
Fuck it. Do it. Hell yeah.
Trainer throws out tails. Just tails. Just 2 tails.
Yeah. We do have other questions in the Discord, but we're going to save those for next week's episode.
Yeah.
Just so that we can have some stuff for next week. And then also, we need to clean up Ant's basement before we go because, Jesus Christ.
Confetti everywhere.
I'm trying to like think of a game. I've been thinking of a game plan of how to make this work easier, and I don't think there is one. Like, I was thinking maybe a vacuum, and then I was like, I don't know if that would work well.
It'll work.
But, like, I don't know if it would damage the vacuum.
How?
Because, like, sometimes if something's too big, it'll, like, get caught and, like, fuck up the spinny thing, depending on the vacuum.
I was going to get that vacuum, use the little hose part.
I mean, that would work, yeah. I mean, I was thinking of, like, you just ran it over.
No, I'm just going to suck it all up
with the hose thing would work. Look at that. Game plan found.
Look at that. You just saw some behind-the-scenes cleanup stuff right there.
It's funny because I'm going to need to take a picture of it.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to need to insert it earlier in the video, like at the very beginning of the podcast, because we mentioned it and then we never, I'm not going to video record it. I'm like, with this cord and shit. But, yeah, man, we're back.
We are.
We're rocking and rolling. We still got some stuff to do. We got to record some Patreon episodes. We got to get back to streaming and making clips more consistently. Mm-hmm. I have not made any clips on any of the streams I've done in the past, like, month. So I think a lot of them have expired. So
we'll get back. I'll get back on the ball myself.
But
now that I can get down here.
Yeah, true. Now you can do it on your own.
Right.
But we'll be back to making content, coming back to you guys very, very soon. I don't know what else there is to do. We got a challenge from Haptic Intel to play that Long Winter game.
The fucking... What was it?
Long Winter.
Yeah, but what was it like?
It's Animal Crossing with guns.
Yeah.
It's like Rust, but Animal Crossing.
Right.
So we got to play that. If you guys are interested in playing with us, keep an eye out because we're going to have a whole entire server that's Save Before Quitting versus Haptic Intel, apparently. And, yeah, it's going to be a good time. We have already accepted. It's just, had a little bit of stuff going on in the meantime.
Life happened happens. Like hell.
Yeah. Life found a way. That's the podcast title.
Life fucked around and found out.
I don't know if we could have fuck in the title. But, yeah, man. Thank you guys for watching. And, it's good to say it, but as always, make sure you always save before quitting. And here's another one. I didn't expect that to be so loud. I thought the glass broke, and I was, like, scared for a second.
No, you're good. If the glass broke, it was me.
If the glass broke, it was definitely... I take responsibility for my actions, sir.
This table is so old that... Whatever.
That's not how that works.
Well, it didn't break, so we don't gotta worry about it.
There you go. All right, well, it's time to vacuum all of this. Jesus Christ.
It's time to suck up the confetti.
There's so much.
I wish Kirby was here.
I should have just got
I wish the Pokemon Kirby was here.
Yeah. Why did I get 2?
I was better with 2.
I guess, but like, Jesus Christ. Damn. All right, well, see you next week.
Peace.
It's free.
Oh shit, that's right. I'm injured. I got up and was like, oh. That's the post credit scene.
Oh right, I'm injured.
I was like, that hurts a lot.
God damn.